The RMS Queen Mary is a very large ship. It now sits in Long Beach, California. Many people visit it every year. The ship is famous not just for its size, it is also known for its many ghost stories. It first sailed the seas many decades ago. Now it rests quietly in the harbor, but some say it is not entirely quiet. They say spirits from its past still roam its decks. This makes it a fascinating place for those interested in history and the supernatural. It has a long and storied past. The Queen Mary was built in Scotland. Construction started in the 1930s. It was a time of great shipbuilding. The ship was designed to be a symbol of luxury and power. It was one of the biggest and fastest passenger liners of its time. Imagine the excitement when it was first launched. People marveled at its grand dining rooms and elegant cabins. It represented the peak of ocean travel. Wealthy and famous people wanted to sail on it. It promised a journey of comfort and style across the vast Atlantic Ocean. Its early voyages were filled with glamour. Passengers enjoyed fine dining and dancing. They dressed in their best clothes. The ship crossed the Atlantic Ocean many times. It connected Europe and America. These were peacetime voyages full of joy and opulence. Think of the orchestras playing and the champagne flowing. For those on board, it was an unforgettable experience. The ship was a floating palace, a testament to human engineering and artistry. It was a celebrated vessel making headlines. Then, World War II began in 1939. The Queen Mary's role changed dramatically. It was painted a dull grey colour. This was to help it hide from enemy submarines. It earned the nickname the Grey Ghost because of this. It was also very fast, which helped it avoid danger. The ship was used to carry soldiers. Sometimes it carried over 15,000 troops on a single voyage. This was far more people than it was designed for. It played a very important part in the war effort. It transported Allied soldiers across dangerous waters. After World War II ended in 1945, the Queen Mary changed again. The grey paint was removed. Its luxurious fittings were restored. The ship returned to its original purpose, carrying passengers across the Atlantic. People were eager to travel again. The Queen Mary offered them a stylish way to do so. The post-war era saw a resurgence in its popularity. It continued to host celebrities and dignitaries. Its decks were once again filled with laughter and music. The ship resumed its glamorous transatlantic crossings, a symbol of peace. The ship enjoyed many more years of successful service. It was a familiar sight in ports like Southampton and New York. For 2 decades after the war, it remained a queen of the seas. Passengers still sought the elegance and tradition it offered. It competed with newer ships and the rise of air travel. However, the world was changing. The golden age of ocean liners was slowly coming to an end. Maintaining such a large and old vessel became increasingly expensive. The demand for leisurely sea voyages started to decline. By the mid-1960s, the Queen Mary was facing new challenges. Airplanes were becoming a much faster way to cross the ocean. The ship was aging and operating it was costly. The Cunard Line, its owner, decided it was time for the ship to retire. Its last voyage was in 1967. This final journey was a special one. It sailed from Southampton around Cape Horn to its new home. This was a long and historic trip for the grand old liner. Many people felt sad to see its sailing days end. In 1967, the Queen Mary arrived in Long Beach, California. It was purchased by the city. The plan was to turn it into a unique attraction. It would become a floating hotel, museum, and event venue. This was a new beginning for the retired ocean liner. No longer would it brave the waves of the Atlantic. Instead, it would welcome visitors in a permanent location. The process of converting it was a big undertaking. Many of its original features were preserved for people to see and experience. The transformation of the Queen Mary was a complex project. Workers converted cabins into hotel rooms. Public areas became restaurants and exhibition spaces. The goal was to preserve its historic charm while making it functional. It officially opened to the public as a hotel and museum in the early 1970s. People could now stay overnight on the famous ship. They could also explore its decks and learn about its history. It quickly became a popular tourist destination in Southern California. The ship offered a unique glimpse into a bygone era of travel. Soon after it opened in Long Beach, stories began to circulate. Staff and visitors reported strange occurrences. They heard unexplained noises and saw fleeting shadows. Some felt cold spots or sensed an unseen presence. These stories grew over time. The Queen Mary started to gain a reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. People wondered if spirits from its past were still on board. Its long history, filled with joy, war and tragedy, seemed to provide many reasons for ghosts. The ship's atmosphere itself felt heavy with memories. One of the most infamous haunted locations is the engine room. Deep within the ship, this area is hot and noisy. It is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young crewman. His name was John Pedder. He was supposedly crushed to death by door 13 during a routine drill. This door is a heavy, watertight door. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported seeing his apparition here. They also hear strange sounds near door 13. Some even claim to have been touched or pushed by an unseen force in this area. It remains a focal point for ghost tours. Another well-known haunted spot is Stateroom B340. This cabin has such a strong reputation for paranormal activity that it was once closed to the public for many years. Guests who stayed in the room reported many disturbances. They said lights would turn on and off by themselves, water taps would run without being touched, bed covers would be pulled off and objects would move. Some guests even claimed to hear voices or see shadowy figures. The room has since been reopened, attracting brave visitors hoping for an encounter. The first-class swimming pool is another area with many ghost stories. This beautiful Art Deco pool has been empty for decades. However, visitors report hearing the sounds of splashing and laughter. They see wet footprints appearing on the dry tiles around the pool. Some have seen apparitions of women in vintage bathing suits. One famous spirit is a little girl named Jackie. She supposedly drowned in the pool during the ship's sailing days. People claim to hear her giggling or calling out. The atmosphere here is often described as eerie. The ship's bow area is linked to a tragic wartime event. In 1942, the Queen Mary accidentally collided with one of its escort ships, HMS Curacoa. The much smaller Curacoa was sliced in two and sank rapidly. Over 300 sailors lost their lives. Due to the risk of U-boat attacks, the Queen Mary could not stop to rescue survivors. It is said that the sounds of screaming and metal tearing can sometimes be heard from the bow. Some visitors report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness in this part of the ship, a chilling reminder of that terrible day. The Queen Mary has attracted numerous paranormal investigators over the years. Many television shows about ghosts have filmed episodes on board. These investigations often use equipment like EMF meters, voice recorders and thermal cameras. They attempt to capture evidence of the reported hauntings. The ship's management has embraced its haunted reputation. They understand that it draws many people who are curious about ghosts. The media coverage has further cemented its status as a paranormal hotspot. This attention helps keep the stories alive. Today, in 2025, the Queen Mary remains a popular tourist attraction in Long Beach. It offers a variety of experiences for visitors. You can take historical tours to learn about its construction and voyages. You can also dine in its restaurants or stay overnight in its hotel rooms. For those interested in its spookier side, there are numerous ghost tours available. These tours explore the most haunted areas and share the chilling tales associated with them. The ship continues to fascinate, offering a unique blend of history, luxury, and the unexplained.